next painting after the hot dog is like 4 legs with 3 in between. So some shit is just one is helpless not to do one's own stuff over and over, I think. So these are old paintings. That's a painting I made in 1978 or 9. I was thinking about a ski slope where I used to go skiing, and I painted a map from memory of a ski slope.
Is the hot dog a painting?
The hot dog was eaten. It's another ski slope. It's a painting of psilocybin mushroom. In Varanasi, India. In the 80s, I went to India and it really blew my mind. I recommend everybody go to India. It certainly helped me in my life. And when I came back from India, I started making lots of big paintings in a hurry. So here's that same kind of 4-legged winged griffin beast. Made it with latex paint in one day. It's 14 feet tall. It's a painting on aluminum foil. I was making all these really huge paintings, and my dealer bought me some smaller canvases because he wanted me to make smaller paintings. And I tried to make smaller paintings, and then I ended up putting them all together and making this really long painting. And he was really, you know, rightfully pissed off at me for doing that. And it was a time when there was a lot of attention about abstract painting in the early 90s. But everyone was talking about painting as some kind of self-referential, sort of linguistic, philosophical conundrum. The painting was about paintings. And I was always thinking my paintings were about like a pine tree or a mountain or whatever, so I tried just writing on the paintings, you know, like the story of what I thought my paintings were about. Which wasn't such a great idea, but I tried that for a while. And I kind of had a big breakdown, and like mid-90s there was a recession like it was now. My gallery closed. Kind of went into hiding. I did a lot of performance work in Williamsburg. When my kids got to be like 5 or 6 or 7, they were really, really great artists, like all of us were and are. And I started making some paintings with my children. And this is a painting I made with my daughter Meredith. It's like 14 feet wide, painted on the floor.
Your work seems to really be a lot about kind of letting the process happen and like figuring out like what the work is, you know, as it reveals itself. Did you kind of come to that originally, or was it something that you realized the more and more work you did?
I think for all of us it's a process of finding ways to really have fun in a serious way. You know, what is really, truly, seriously fun for us? And that seems to be the discipline, is to learn to do what one wants to do. That's a hard thing to do. At one point I tried making paintings in front of audiences, thinking that that might give a certain urgency. And this was a thing at the thread waxing space where we made paintings of a painting in front of an audience with a band. And that's the painting we made. So it's different now, but at that time for me, oh, check this out. Lauren Monk, come back. Pain must die. You know, it's hard to sort of believe now, but at that time, there was all this, you know, people were walking around really worried about, you know, could they make painting, and was painting valid? And now, I go to your studios and you're making like a Laskowski said it's always dead, and you have to make these dry bones speak. You go around, you rustle up the bones in painting, and you try to cook up something fresh. At this point in my life, I really felt depressed, and I really had a crash, and I was really walking around thinking I couldn't do anything. And I did just black and white paintings for these really big paintings for about 5 years, and each one I felt was kind of really a kind of hopeless, difficult thing to do. That looks like bad Philip Guston to me now, and that's what I was. This really huge painting, and in the next room I put all of the stuff from my house and my studio, and I realized that when I would go to somebody's house, like if I go to Don's house, he doesn't have his paintings up on a big white